Fantastic. Well, welcome everyone. Here we go. So we're in February. Oops, that's pretty wild. So today we have Jeff, Justin, Katie, Kevin, Joy, and Lee. And I hear someone else coming. I know that Dawn will be absent. All right, let's see who's coming in here. Might be, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna need a chair over there. Or actually it might be Jason going upstairs. That'd be a good guess too. Okay. So, we're following the January agenda mainly because it didn't work out for me to. Oh, good. It didn't work out for me to, make one. Yeah. Joy, can you pass me those? Yeah. No. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Ryland will come and things like that. Okay. Thank you. Welcome. You made it here earlier than I expected.
Oh, okay.
So, nice work. All right. Ryland will be here in a while. He said. So, I have an email that I'm trying to pull up from him. Okay. So we're using the January agenda, it would be very similar to, if I had time to fix it to a February one. So, did you guys get a chance to see the January, minutes? They were only sent this afternoon, so I'm willing to read through them if you guys want me to. So, I'm trying to figure out why this isn't working. Anybody have the January? Yeah, January minutes? You got them?
Yep.
You got them?
Yep.
Okay. Does anyone want me to read through them or are we okay? We're okay? All right. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to use my phone. Okay, does anyone have anything to add or adjust to the January minutes?
So I'll make a motion to approve the January 5th minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, welcome, Rylan. You're here earlier than I thought too, so nice work, you guys. Thank you. All right, so I apologize, I didn't get an agenda going. But if we pretend this is the February one, is there anything that we want to add on? Whoa, what was that?
It's just
okay?
a note taker. Yeah.
Okay. No taker giving me a heart attack. That's great. All right. Can you guys think of anything that needs to be added to this? Because did we not talk about? Well, I guess we can just do it under. So we were gonna talk about the Lions Club. And I don't know.
He's on vacation, so he
Yeah.
won't be here. So he asked that to be
Could we-
pushed to March.
Can we just speak to it? Just.
Yeah, can we,
Sure.
we could look at it, right? When we get to Orinoco Park?
Yep.
So let's just look at it. But, okay, and then,
I think the
Alright.
other thing was
yeah,
the benches and locations of benches, and then I know we talked about it last time that the city council approved 6,500 for paving trails. So again, I know we talked about we can either
Was that 65,000?
or 65,000, what did I say, 100? 65,000, yeah, that's a little bit different. Yeah, we can, yeah.
Tight numbers.
We can pave this much. We can either pave one, wait, or do a combination of that. So again, I think we need to figure out what's the plan for, are we gonna save that money and wait till we have funding for all of the paths? Are we gonna pave Orinoco Park? Are we gonna pave maybe one of the ones by Riverwood Hills? So we just maybe need to decision of what we wanna do with that.
So that would be just for an agenda item.
Yep.
Not for discussion right
Yep,
now.
just to add to the agenda, yep.
Yeah, I have a feeling Riley might be helping us with some information with that right now. So, okay. I'm like looking at an email sideways. Okay. So, would anyone like to approve the agenda? Fake agenda? Or I make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll second it.
Okay, and I don't know that we really have any public forum right now. So. Yeah, okay, so. I just have a question for everybody.
We gotta.
Oh, what do I, oh. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I have a quick question that is in regards to the next treks. We've just kind of given up, right? Like if I have plastic,
Yep.
don't worry about it.
Yep.
And do we even have an old?
It's
Yeah,
on
we
there,
do.
yep,
Yep.
should be.
Yep, okay, fantastic. Okay, so moving on. Benches. So we have some information that was sent to us. Marie, are you available to read this, please?
Yep, so, thanks for sending me what you guys think of the benches. I know we had about 4 different options. So based on the individual responses, the first choice was the 6-foot, Willow Park plastic bench. So that's like the wood looking one. Those are probably gonna cost about maybe $800 plus maybe shipping. Again, they seem pretty durable, low maintenance because they're the truck decking, they're almost truck decking wood. Again, I think they're probably well suited for long-term use along trails. The second choice was the 6-foot expanded steel bench, so that has the rubbery kind of mat on them. Those are about $6 or $761 plus shipping.
I looked at that website today.
Yep.
And those, when you kind of put your, what you're looking at, they're over $1,200.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and so,
okay.
yeah,
Even with this, okay. Because when I pulled it, they were 671, but
we can look at it a little
I
bit, but
think Kane too uses that pilot rack, so I wonder if they get like a
Discount,
discount or
okay.
something, because Kane sent me a brochure
Okay.
of that, but we'll have to make sure if that's the one we want to go with, that we get actual prices so people know. Again, I think they're both really great options. They seem pretty durable. Again, I think what we would look to this committee is to endorse the bench that we would want, and then we would want to think about where do we place them? So either businesses or residents or whoever could pick where they're gonna put a bench. So in that slide deck on slide 6 is just a blank template where Kane helped me draw out the trails that we could look at and try to identify some locations. We could even pick, a few that are, as we roll this out, that we maybe have 15 options and we can continue to expand or however we want to do it too.
we're a little concerned right now about putting the benches on some of the, obviously Riverwood Hills because of what's gonna happen with the trails and then even our local park. We need to discuss with Lions Club potentially about, what they would like to do.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, for now, just maybe installing a few around parks equipment.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, I think that makes sense to not offer them if we're gonna think about paving, because I'd hate for it to be paved where the trail is now and then if you're, a foot or two off the trail.
I know the ones at River Park are just flat, a flat bench that it's around. And so, and they're getting a little run
Yep.
down, so.
Yep.
Something we could initially do.
Put the benches where people are gonna use them first.
Yep. For sure. Yep. So again, I think based on recommendation, it would be that plastic Willow Park bench. Let me based on, I mean, we were off by one vote, so they're basically the same.
I did have the one question, are the plastic ones going to be as durable in an area that's flooded versus the plastic covered metal or steel frames? And so that was just my question. If it be as durable, if it's flooded, do they wash as well? I don't have an opinion, just to.
They mount them down pretty good, so I don't know. I would say either of them are gonna move if they're, but I don't know about sitting in water, what it would do.
That
I'm not
was my
sure.
question.
Yeah,
Would think plastic, it wouldn't affect it as much as if it was a full wet or wood bench.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I like the wood bench to sit on versus the plastic or, the holes to sit on.
maybe the one con of the plastic one is graffiti, right? People could scrape into it, where the steel one, you're not scraping much. You probably could peel the outer coating off eventually, but just something to consider. I would hope that wouldn't happen, but those where you have the plaques, you could probably scrape into or stick stickers to, or, so that may be a con against those. Just something to consider too.
The picnic table, especially down in River Park where it does flood. The picnic table, which is a steel one mounted, it will take, it doesn't take logs hitting it for damaging, because we've replaced benches. Sometimes we replace the whole table, or
Okay.
just the bench, or seat, it's all it takes.
Mhm.
Pure plastic wouldn't
Yeah.
fare well down there in the flood areas.
Yeah. And maybe that's where it'd be nice to put benches all over, but we know if that's gonna flood, maybe we are really selective about what's down there.
It'd be nice to have a bench along that trail.
Yeah.
There's a picnic table there now.
Mhm.
People use, so it's not very comfortable either.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing you could think about is in that location, maybe you just do like a cement like block, a big one where and you don't have a back, but it's just that's not going anywhere. But I don't know.
As far as uniformity, that would be one place where steel would mesh the steel table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or local park, everything else could use something different. Stick on.
So I think first was, let's pick a bench that we would like to endorse, and then we could spend some time thinking about where we would want.
Most of the
Those.
where-
Yep. So again, people could scrape their initials in it or their love, the heart with their lover's name on there, I don't know, whatever. Or put a sticker on it, so that could be an issue. I think they both kind of have pros and cons. I know some of the steel ones, if they get hot, they get sticky.
Yeah.
Sometimes the coating kind of comes off, so.
Was this it says $60 for mount kit, was the mount kit to attach it to the
Yep.
ground?
Yep. So Kane said he'd put a cement pad underneath it, so we wouldn't have to mow under it, and then they're basically like a U bracket that they just mount right into the cement.
So which one's the willow symbol?
The,
Oh, can you show it to the camera just for fun? Where is the camera?
way up there.
You zoom in on it?
No, I don't know what Jeff can do, but.
I don't know.
Yeah, you gonna hold it up in front of it?
It's for fun, I don't know, yeah, that looks really
Why
great.
not?
All right.
Wow, good thing you're tall.
That one, everybody.
All right,
Thank
Just stay right there.
Where's all the options?
I love it. All right, well, I make a motion to recommend the, what'd you say? What?
I said, I think that's the first.
I would agree. I would agree, but we super rely on this video. We really like it. It's helpful.
Yeah.
Super helpful. So I'd like to make a motion that we recommend the 6-foot Willow Park plastic bench, for moving forward for, matching benches, I guess, right? Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, fantastic. So it's gonna be a matter of it all working out, obviously, you know, it being available when Kane is ready for them.
Yep.
To get to placement, are we supposed to do some math as to how many we can really work with right away?
I mean,
or
I
not
know you
yet?
guys,
It was more so the incline, how many feet, I think we had that in the past minutes,
Right?
so.
But like, can we recommend 2 per park right now or no? What is our plan?
I don't,
I don't think we're at that
I don't think
point.
we're at that
I-
point
it's-
where we. I don't know, as far as, you know, our. Each park. I think it behooves us to do a little more research exactly where we think we would wanna put
Right.
them, and then. We wanna start out with maybe 1 or 2 here and.
Well, and are these are not gonna be just the adopt-a-bench ones, right? Or are they?
it could be either, I guess.
It can be both,
Yep.
right? Whatever.
I would say
is needed.
if Parks and Trails wants the city to purchase some of them, I think we would recommend that it would be the same style too.
Mhm.
Or if the Lions Club wanted to put more benches, we'd say this is the city style. Here's where we get them through.
Okay. Did we pick the color?
I had the brown, kind of the cedar with the black, but I mean, there's lots of options.
Yeah, that's the one I was kinda looking at, but, I mean,
And that gives a nice rustic
Yeah.
view.
Yeah, does anyone have any other recommendations or do we like the black and cedar?
I think this, what Marie suggested. I think it sounds fine.
Yeah.
I think what Kevin said too, maybe where we could walk the areas to see where it's recommended on the paper is one thing, we could see
Yeah.
that. But to actually go see, oh, there's a tree there, we can't place it there, or maybe would make more sense over here, over there.
it's a little more slanted than, you know, it's not as flat as maybe we were thinking.
Yep.
Those kind of things, I think that behooves us to. Well, when it warms up a little bit, we can go out and do a little hoofing and check out the areas, but.
I think the other thing we could do in the meantime is start to communicate about this program out to the residents, and maybe they can just say like what park they would be interested in. And maybe have them meet out there and say, okay, here's maybe some placement, where do you, I mean, so again, it could be more interactable. Cause I don't even know, again, I've had a few people reach out saying they're willing to do one, so maybe we just start to get the message out and saying, well, continue to work on actually defining where they need to go. Like just get some numbers of where people are interested in doing it, if they're still interested in doing it too.
Right, because you can't place it right now anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I don't even know the turnaround time to order to get them either, I don't know.
All right, so that's something that we have to, is that something that would go to city council or not?
We can just put it as a FYI.
An FYI.
Yep,
So how does that happen? Do you?
yep, I can send it to Rachel.
Thank you.
And then maybe the ask from city council would be to start with a communication out to residents of the program and just start to get some interest started and have people reach out if they're interested.
Great. Well, thank you. With you being here tonight, does that mean they kept you on Parks and Trails?
Yeah.
I will-
Yes. Stuck with me. with me and
No.
everything.
Good.
Yeah.
I like being with
No,
you guys.
nothing changed. For anybody, I don't think. So,
Kinda easier sometimes, isn't it?
yep, yep,
Just finally getting your feet wet.
exactly. Yep, yep, for sure.
All right, so. Wonder if maybe now is a good time for. For Ryland to do his thing, but I think he's making copies for us. For things,
Can we talk about the Lions Park? If we
Yeah,
talk
let's
about
do that.
Just while he's finishing up.
Yes,
I don't feel the need that we have to go into it in detail since we're not here to discuss it, but perhaps Kevin, you can help me. I know that the Lions were active in the city of Orinoco 25, 30 years ago. I almost think that Carroll Cowden Park was called the Lions Park before it was named the Carroll Cowden Park. I can't say for sure, but it almost seemed like, and I don't know if you were on council.
That,
Yeah,
that's not registering with me, but that's so.
but I remember, and I don't know if it's the Lions Park, because you see Lions Park
Yeah,
around the
Yeah.
different cities,
Yeah.
or if it was the Orinoco Lions Park. So that just starts my head thinking, what if the Lions no longer are active in Orinoco, which I hope will never happen. But what if it happened?
Yeah.
Then do we go back, have another resolution and call it back to Orinoco Park? That was just my one question on that.
I would say that would probably be the process if they were no longer wanted to help support that. I mean, that would be a conversation here and then a recommendation to council. Which it could happen. I mean, even if they don't exist, maybe that they don't want to have that partnership. I don't know why, but it could happen.
And if they're going to do that, will they have the Lions emblem on the park sign? And who will pay for that?
I would say they
would think they
probably
would.
would. They would probably do that. I don't know. That would be a question for Steve.
Yeah.
I would assume they'd probably want the emblem on there. I don't know.
That was just a couple
Yep.
questions that I thought, just to kind of get us thinking.
Mm.
I think the other thing we've talked about is like just signage and having like a QRL code on there. And that might be really cool for that park where it could talk about the Lions Club or, you know, and have some more information that is specific to the Lions Club. And if you want to join, here's how you get in. I mean, so they could really use that scannable code for a lot of things for Lions Club and, you know, and maybe that would suffice having their emblem on there. You could get the history and what they are up, you know, about if you scan it. I mean, that would be another opportunity to think about. Maybe we just want consistent signs, but if they want some, you know, unique Lions Club, have a scannable code that you could learn all about it.
And they're kind of adamant that they want it to be renamed the Lions.
I think that was,
Park.
yeah.
Not Orinoco Lions Park, but the Lions Park.
Orinoco
They
Lions
wanted
Park.
Orinoco Lions Park.
Okay.
keep it or.
Yep. Yep.
With the Pine Island, just to comment there, they have a pretty good size Lions Club circle right on on the shelter by Quick Trip.
Right.
So, but then it's called, I think it's called Pine Island Lions Club or
Lions
something
Club,
that
yeah.
use the city, so.
Yeah, I only just
Yeah.
noticed that recently.
Yeah, I think it behooves us to at least when and however we decide to word that Orinoco is still on that because
Yeah.
it was Orinoco Park to begin with and it still needs, I think it still needs that foothold.
Yep. Yeah, and I think they agree too.
Yeah.
They don't wanna take the full ownership of it, cause it's really a partnership. It's
Yeah.
not them owning, it's not the city. I mean, the city ultimately is responsible, but I think they wanna keep the name too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And I think what I talked to Steve a little bit about is just gave him all of the suggestions that we got within, you know, the survey and other things, and not that everything needs to live in Orinoco Park. We can still consider, you know, putting some of these things in other locations. And of course, some of these are more expensive than others if you start to think about those long-term opportunities in there, like the restroom, the splash pad, pickleball courts, disc golf. They wanted to do like a pedestrian bridge across the river bed. They talked about an amphitheater. So again, that's all they would have to plan and do some of the fundraising. So it's not like something would happen quickly on any of those pieces. And then they'd work with this committee on what they're gonna bring forward and what that planning would look like, but just some opportunities. I think it's really cool to think about what they could do if they could do some of these pieces, because you could really draw people into Orinoco that may not live here, but could use the park to do a lot of different things and maybe even year round, which would be exciting too. I think the parks are pretty dormant in the winter. So I think there's an opportunity to think about, you know, what it looks like year round usage too, so.
So the only way to be fair with waiving rental fees, I don't wanna come up with this, but do we need to come up with something that's like, or maybe we could just ask them, you know, to prove how many volunteer hours have you put in at the park to make up for not having to reserve it and pay for it, you know, because we've kind of become more sticklers of not supporting community organizations to be able to
Right.
use space for free.
Like
And
the seniors group, even though there's a room named the seniors room and the seniors donated money, the city council decided that they would still charge the seniors to meet here. So there's that precedent. And, you know, that was the city council's decision and we stand by it. But I see what you're saying. It's the city determining that to forego the fee.
Yeah, like.
Which I
how does
think
that
is good, in support of that. But then we need to look at other community groups too.
work? Yeah, you were on council when they denied it. What was the main reasoning?
They didn't want to set a precedence, basically.
So are they gonna be okay with this, or are they gonna maybe
Again, I
say-
think it's a topic of
Yeah.
conversation. Let's see where it goes.
Right,
Again, my personal bias is I'm supportive of it if they're willing to really enhance the park. Again, same thing with the senior center. Again, it would probably be 3 or 4 times, right? Because they're only gonna use it when it's nice out. If it's cold and rainy, they're not gonna use it, right? So I mean, and it's gonna be during the week. Who else is gonna rent it? I mean, they could probably just go and meet down there and not tell anybody and no one would be none the wiser. But again, I think if they're willing to put an investment into Orinoco, I think my opinion would be that city council would support that and not charge them for something if they're gonna put the man hours and bring some money into it to really enhance it, that the city doesn't need to fund for. So,
Matching the volunteer hours to offset the labor cost that Kane or anyone else, Public Works is going to have to go through to collect trash and pick up after themselves. I think having that in the verbiage would be great.
I think the only other thing that was in there, and I know we talked about it, but they wanna discontinue camping, which I don't think anyone is gonna have an issue, but.
so I'd like to reword it in there.
Okay.
I mean, in my opinion, it should just say, keep it discontinued. Like,
Yeah.
they're not
It's so,
presenting it
yeah.
as a new thing to discontinue it.
yeah,
But the only thing that had happened in the past was, and we still don't know how long it's gonna take getting water and sewer down there.
Water
But
and sewer is,
there's
Yeah.
water.
we don't need to
Yep.
upgrade the facilities need to be up stools, handicap accessible as much as possible. That needs to be-
yeah,
There's a couple other ways it can be done. One potentially is through the Zumbo River Regional Water Trail. If the site is selected, and our plan is approved, we can submit funds to the Greater Parks Minnesota Commission to get funding to upgrade, like talk about the parking, access to the river, do that format, whatever it takes, upgrading your restroom facilities. That's a possibility. That's one possibility, other than city funding it through CIP or something. Or through the Lions Health.
And that. I mean, I don't know if I have to be that picky about it, like, when I read this, it makes me think that they're the ones discontinuing.
Yeah, the reason I worded it that way is because camping is still on the fee schedule, isn't it? Or did we take it off? Camping on the fee schedule? Yeah, is on there? Or
I
it
think
took it
so,
off, or we took it off this year?
I thought we did, I just took it for right now.
Okay, let me look. Cause I think I worded it that way because I thought it was still on the fee schedule, so I'd like to just take that off.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's not on there, then maybe we'll just say.
How come payments came up? What is that? Oh.
No,
is that-
the one, I think I brought this up before, but I think I just would like to see, and maybe how we could research it, but find out exactly what year the restrooms were built down there. Because and I've said it before, but I'd like to see that somehow incorporated, making it accessible for handicap and stuff, but that stone building down there is quite a thing, and I mean, I guess I envision if that goes away and, there's not a lot of foundation for that foundation isn't the word I want, but just for the park itself, the identity kind of, it's got some age and it's got some beauty to it. So
I don't know of anybody talking about getting rid of it.
yeah, no, but there's talk that, if the renovations to make it accessible, I would think it would be doable to make
You may
it,
not have 2 or 3 stalls, but you may have 1 or 2, just because of the space it takes for
Sure.
handicap.
Sure.
And I think what I talked to Steve about, and we'd have to figure out what it would cost to do that, but in the spring, really have someone go out there and help draw like what that long-term plan would look like. If they want to do an amphitheater, like where would you put it? Where would you, where would you do anything with the bathrooms? Like, or would you take it down and use some of the stone differently and put, again, so like, what does that long-term kind of plan look like? That would come with a cost because you'd need someone to help draw it up and do all that. Which again, I think that would be a conversation, or, is Lions Club gonna help with that? Is that something the city needs to endorse, things like that? But again, I think that was the long-term plan is in the spring, actually having like a site walkthrough and what are the things you want? What's the, short-term plan? What's the long-term plan? So you would build something where you wanted the amphitheater to go or whatever they want to do as well. Yeah, I don't see it on there, so we must have took the camping off unless I'm not looking for it, so.
Back to that, I know that there's sewer and water down there. Is the sewer actually hooked up to the facility, the restrooms now?
Right, it's hooked up to the
Yeah, that's
tank.
what I thought, because I saw the tank.
Has a
I
grinder
saw
pump.
a grinder down there, yep.
East side of it.
Yep, I saw that. Okay, I just wanted to confirm that.
So like the wastewater goes to the wastewater or not yet?
Yes,
Mhm.
that's the sewer plant. yeah.
Hmm.
There's a grinder station there. It empties, there's underneath this restrooms right now, there's a holding tank. And that would typically, before that filled up, and they would pump it to a drain field. All that automatically goes to the grinder station.
Interesting. But there's no flush toilet
No.
yet. Okay, but the sink water.
Yeah, that would,
Process.
well, the drain would go to the sewer, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Okay,
Yeah, so we can change that to, it's not discontinued, that we would just make sure that there's still no camping in there. And then again, I think we would need Steve here in March to maybe vote on it.
just so he can witness it better.
Well, I would just hate for us to have conversations and he's not, I mean, if they want a Lions Club emblem on it and we're saying no, I mean, just some of those pieces, I don't know their plans, so I don't wanna bring it forward on his behalf.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. I apologize, but I'm still hung up on the waiving the fee. And I just have to say that
Yep.
I'm hung up on it.
Okay.
So right now it's
Yeah.
$320. It's $35 for a rental.
Yeah.
For 12 months. They probably don't have it in the winter time, but that's.
Yeah.
It'd be 4 months probably. I mean, realistically, nice enough that they would be down there.
7 months.
Yeah, cause it's a deposit of 100 and then 35.
Yes, $3,500 deposit. Is there any talk about a contract length of time? Or it's just for forever?
Of them own like partnership for this, I think it's until we decide differently or they want out of it.
I think it should be looked at over a period of time.
Yeah, we could,
Reviewed
dealing
after
with those-
every,
Dealing with live ad with our companies, you need to put some kind of timeline.
that's
Even
good.
if it's a review in 10 years, we'll stop, we'll review it, see where we're at. Cause I think there needs to be a real strong liaison between the two.
Yep.
You know, they can't just run and do, not, but they will. You know, when they do something, they gotta report back and say, hey, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And vice versa. If we come forward and say, we want this done, that's gotta be communicated. It's gonna take a lot of communication from that aspect, but you definitely wanna review it. You don't wanna just go endless with it, cause no, even if it's 5 years, you might just come to a meeting and say, yep, looks good. Another 5 years. We
Yeah,
move on. So,
I'd like
Yeah,
that.
has this been reviewed by attorney?
No, not yet. We could do that too.
Anticipate anything, but
Yeah.
we should probably just double check.
Yep.
I wonder how they did it in Pine Island. Do you know? You don't really know, right?
We could find out probably.
Right? I mean, it was just all of a sudden,
I think it's probably the same way they probably approached the city saying, we're
Right.
willing to
we
bring
wanted
some money
stuff.
into the park. We want this park, we want the name, you know, or so.
I like that.
Mhm.
Do we want to recommend that we would review it annually? Every
Five
5
sounds
years, 3 years?
5-10 sounds good.
Yeah, I would agree on 5.
And then I think to have a liaison to
Yeah.
come to the meetings.
Yep.
I
at
think
least,
that's
at least
important.
quarterly comes to a meeting
Yeah.
or something and updates it. Cause you don't wanna, you know, I think it's a great deal. I do, but it's like you don't want all of a sudden, nothing's being done for a year. And here we said, no, you know, no physical improvements for them cleaning up, which I'm sure they will, but you know, you wanna make sure we stay on top of that.
Yeah.
Very simple as that. And I'm kind of torn with the no fee too, in a way. You know, there's a way you can do it, which anytime you pay a fee, then there's a little more, oh, I have to do something now. You know, instead of just free gratis, but I don't know how you do that in a situation like this. And I'm, like I say, I'm not aware with what has been done with our groups as far as paying the fee either. So it's interesting one to
always-
figure
yeah.
out, so.
It was until this year, the seniors group was no charge.
Okay. And then we have to be an across the board thing then at some point, and just say, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, so.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, I think it's a council decision because we did waive their fee for fireworks. They didn't pay a fee to use the park for fireworks. So,
But they were kind of doing the fireworks for the city, right? I don't know how to say that.
It was sort
was
of a
that-
promotional Orinoco event. It was a communal gathering, intentional, bring everyone together. So we were able to kind of see it there, but there's things to be discussed for sure about expectations.
And how often would somebody be coming down and using the park on a weeknight?
Yeah.
Would they have to reserve?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're probably not doing it in prime time, right? It's during the week. Maybe even during the day, you know, I mean, so,
Yeah, it's exciting though. I like it.
I think that's an excellent point. To me, I think they should, even though they're saying that use it once a month on a Wednesday, but if they're gonna do anything differently, they need to go through the office to schedule it.
Yeah.
So we're not renting it out when they're using it. And we still need to have some.
Yeah.
Control, but I guess it is, because it's still a city park, so
Yeah.
we're sharing it, but at the same time, we rent it out to everybody, plus the Lions Club.
They would just have sort of, like a front of the line to reserve it. It's really.
yeah, for their Wednesday night, yep,
Yeah,
yeah. So we'd put that on the calendar, that it's reserved, so no one could reserve it for them. But again, I think they know that it would get reserved for other things and they have no say in that. They would go through the regular kind of process and that
They're
person would,
giving back to us. You know, they've agreed for what they, to spend some money too, so. It's not like we're not getting anything for the loss of the waivers, because they are donating
Yeah.
their money to it as well.
Yeah.
So.
they even talked about helping at the park for picking up trash and, you know, doing some of that. So again, if you think about the cost, I mean, that's not Public Works doing it anymore. It would be Lions Club kind of doing some of that. I mean, the ultimate kind of upkeep of it would still be Public Works, but I think they've talked about different volunteer events where they could help, you know, restore the water line or pull weeds or whatever too. So I think that, I mean, that speaks a lot of just wanting to see that park grow.
We talked about on the top of the second page too, volunteer support for seawall removal, landscape restoration, city approval. So that needs to be worked out from a liability standpoint. Because residents really can't go in there and start working with the public works people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we would make sure that before anything started, that we've all been looped in.
Okay. Well, is there any other discussion on this, or we can look forward to visiting with Steve when he comes?
Yep.
March. Okay. Is this a good time, Ryland, to visit about the information that you got?
On the paths,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Not here for those that need to do. I've on each sheet identified the costs from the letter that Joe had in his memo. And we've got onto that memo too here.
Thank you.
That's right.
Here's a copy of the memo. Let's do a late reference. Maybe the second paragraph, the options.
okay.
Sure, there.
Okay, yep.
Well, I'm really excited that we were able to get some money in the CIP, because it's something I've been wanting to do for about 10 years, so. You see, parents pushing a baby stroller through the gravel, you know, that's work, so. And the paved path we have right now from Estes Lane down to, the playground area there is very well used, walking and running, so it's just a plus, so. So there's three opportunities here. There's a path 1 and path 2, which is in the park itself, green and orange. And these are estimates that Joe has put together with some 10% contingency factor and also insuring services once they really start looking at it, how much is it going to take, so you know that. I would I would say the engineering services is probably pretty close because they're Stantec and they did the design work. The design work is an 8-foot path. It's up on top here, 8-foot width with drainage. It'll be well done with 8 inches of rock underneath it, so it's not like we're just putting it on grass. So, and there is some gravel there already in a lot of places, so. It's the contingency factor, the 10%. We don't know where the bids are gonna come in at, but we think it's a good time to do it now versus late in the summer when people can start raising the prices to get the work. So going into work, that's why I'm trying to push us along as we can go out and get estimates right away here for spring. And whether May and June, we can hopefully get some good estimates. So one is the longest path, and it's $59,800. Path number 2 is from Sunnyview all the way the orange over to the where the road splits around to the lift station and connects with the path that's there that goes on to Istis Lane. And then the number 3 on the sheet by itself is the one in Orinoco Park, which is 10,384 estimated. But the total almost 13,000 for what's in blue. Future path could be something later on too. So in Joe's email, he talks about looking at, we have 65,000 in the CIP program. So we can't do everything, which is great, but we could. The Parks Committee could make some recommendations, either doing 1 and 3, which is the big long one in Riverwood Hills and the park. Or do 2 and 3, which is the orange one and the park. One thought that they can probably already is the Lions would be interested in if we were doing 1 and 3, be like 70, 72, 73,000. If that's what the figures came in as, and I think it could be less, we just hope. But then between the 65 and 72 is 7,000, something less than that, that Lions may figure work towards paying for that path. That's a possibility.
Yeah, right away up front. So we have 65,000 to work with. Are we allowed to recommend doing something for 72,000? Like, how does that work?
Well, I think you should talk to the Lions before we do that.
Yeah, I agree.
We need their buy-in if there's something they would entertain.
I think you could always get bids, right? And if they're high and we don't do it, right? I
So,
mean,
so we are allowed to get bids for these 3 paths. Is that accurate? Or are we not allowed to get bids for all
I
3?
would say, we know we can't do all 3, so we're just wasting people's time to give us a quote for 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I do think 2 is very, very responsible to do, because give us ideas.
I think the other thing we talked about was maybe we keep that money in CIP and then ask for another 65 next year. And then and do it all, but I mean, again, you could do sections or you could keep it in there, save it, do it all in 2027. I mean, that would be the other option is we just keep it. But
That's one way to look at it, because you like to combine, make it worth the contractor's time to come out here and do that.
yeah, especially in Riverwood Hills. I mean, I guess you probably could do one or the other, but like the green one, it would be weird that they'd come in and do it and stop. Like maybe the orange one would make more sense because it actually already connects to the concrete paths down there.
Is this the park right
The
here?
park's right here.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to at least have some accessibility to that.
Because these are already paved here. But again, if you think about it, right, they're coming in potentially twice in that area. I mean, maybe they don't care, but I guess that's our decision as a parks of what we would recommend.
I guess we're not guaranteed to get that additional funding next year,
That's true.
so.
That's
And
true.
the hospitals.
And the prices, yeah, the
Right.
prices go up too.
Yeah.
Good, Gary.
Yeah.
Well, fuel prices are coming down, so that's a pleasant.
The price of asphalt's still going up. I know that personally from the guy I was just talking to last week. It's like, oh, boy.
There's the pros and cons of doing it. The pro would be, again, capture the money while you have it, you know you have that money. Maybe catch it before the price goes up. And then also give something concrete to the residents. Concrete.
They're bituminous.
Yeah, so that they can see where their tax money is going.
Yeah.
Not just in salaries and on the roads, it's something that they
Tangible.
can actually see.
I think we should really just get the bids regardless.
Yeah.
Get it going, cause then we can always, like we say, just say,
Yeah,
no, we
we-
can't,
We
but
could ask for the 3 bids and pick the best 2,
yeah.
I think, but that I'd like to hear Joe's response to that, but maybe it's not that big a deal to ask 3 on something very appears to us to be simple, but
Well, and this, well, that LCCMR stuff that's out there, that wouldn't be until 2027. But some of this, wouldn't that apply to that?
There's a,
That LCCMR grant funding thing, but
all dedicated to the River Trail project. Original River Trail.
that one's for that.
yeah, Jason sent out another one. It's called Legislation Citizen Commission of Minnesota Resources. So there was there's an RFP process, but yeah, it would be 2027. I don't know, when I read through it,
Yeah, what'd you think?
I thought you could, cause it did talk about like making sure that parks and some of that is like ADA and accessible, so I think you could go that way. Again, we could get bids and we could do this as well from a grant, and if we get the money, then we can use the money. I mean, again, it's earmarked for that, but we can always bring that back. But I even thought of like, we could talk about in that application, just the ADA accessibility around all our parks and paving our pathways. I mean, the other thing there was improved visitor navigation and signs and trail markings and educational modules, public safety. So I was thinking about like solar powered lights, different, our outdoor equipment that we didn't get, we could put that in there. But reading through the grant, it kind of was a lot of different things. So I think you could potentially use some of the paving of the trails on just true accessibility for all. But we'd have to get bids regardless. So it probably doesn't change the topic for Ryland, but I do think that grant, you could write it for a lot of different things that we've been trying to do.
The LCCMR, because we used it for Stumble River Regional Water Trail project. And because we had shown support financially from the counties.
Oh, sure.
And so in this case, for the LCCMR, they like to say, I think it's almost 25% or some type of support and financial aid. Just, you can't just go out and ask for it. You gotta demonstrate some financial support too.
Yeah, I think it was 25%.
So
But what's 25% of 132? If we said we wanted to pay the whole thing, 46.
No, 36.
So our CIP funds would cover that.
and the deadline is March 18th or 31st.
I'm confused on this because it says that November 19 funding priorities determined. Then January 7 is RFP issued. So that means that the RFP is available to fill out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a process.
oh yeah, request for proposals is
Right.
now open. Okay, and then March 18 is when they want final submission deadline for proposals. And I mean, haven't we been? I mean, we've been successful with LCCMR funds before.
This is the only one I'm aware of.
What's that?
This is the only one I'm aware of.
Well, like, I think that's how we got all the signage and whatnot for the Zumba Watershed Partnership,
Well, that was through,
supporting things.
yes, that was through a program that somebody used for the LCCMR funds. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. I don't know. But, are you interested in helping us fill that out? For
Yeah,
March?
yeah.
Cause that's the one that has Jason
Yep.
found two things or just the?
Just that one that I saw.
Okay,
Again, I would wanna know what our scope is. I mean, when you read through it, it's pretty much anything, everything
yeah,
agricultural.
I heard you say agricultural.
Yeah, I mean, cause it talks about land, energy, water and fish and wildlife,
Okay.
education and outdoor recreation,
Say the
water,
recreation.
resiliency.
Yes.
I mean, they have like 8 different kind of evaluation criteria. So I think anything that we've been talking about could almost fit in many of those categories.
And then can we ask for like 140, which would include the trails and benches, or how does that work?
I mean, you could ask for whatever. I mean, so if we said we need a match of 25%, if we just paved these, that would be 33. So we'd still have 32,000 left in the CIP funds.
So it's we haven't gone through it 2 years ago. You give a presentation in June to everybody. Everybody gets a presentation and then they pick. So there's different categories too.
Yep.
So you have this first go around and then you're chosen, then you give a second presentation. And before they do the selection in November, that's where you finally hear that it's going to be approved to look at being put in the legislative bill. So it goes to the legislature in January, part of the LCCMR bill with all the other projects. And then that money is awarded 1 July 2027 then, so.
So you could
Very
base,
competitive.
That puts us.
you could lose a year and a half.
What's that?
You'd lose a year and a half of time here to,
Yeah,
yeah.
by the time you start.
Well,
Then you have a couple of years to use it too.
July 1st, 2027 is when you could start using it.
Yeah.
If you get that far.
So maybe we need to think about what's in our 5-10 year plan that would make more sense than the immediate paving. Again, we would have to make sure we'd have funding to support that.
Well, and how did we get the 65,000? You guys say that it's in CIP.
Yep.
What is that called again?
Community investment or
Improvement.
improvement.
CIP, what is that again?
Capital.
Capital Improvement Project.
Yeah.
So are there obviously there's other projects in the city that,
Oh, yeah, there's it's I don't think we post that on the website what the CIP budget is, but we put 262,000 into the CIP. 103,000 goes to the fire department for turnout gears, radios are the 2 big items. Maybe one more. Oh, fire truck.
Yeah.
Lease payment, 38,000. So that was probably the biggest majority of that. Public Works has some money went into it. Parks and Trails.
Look
Yeah,
at it,
building.
look at it as like a savings account, like you're saving for a larger project versus you're gonna spend it in the next year's budget. So it's not a line item in the budget, it's kind of it is in a separate account that, again, to use it, you'd have to come through city council and pull out of that. So it's not something like a budget line item that you can go spend think there needs to be a conversation. So it's almost like your savings account.
Are streets and roads in there too?
Yes,
Yep.
43,000.
Yep.
43,000?
Yes,
For
and
that?
we have the city, there was a one-time legislative back in 2024, at a one-time legislative bill to small cities assistance under 5,000. And so we got 181,000. So we're using 43,000, 180. Is that right? So we used 50,000 of them already, so the 43,000 supplements the balance of what was left of the 181,000. I think that's the way. So that's why we have now a 5-year pavement program for all the streets in Orinoco. So we have every year we're gonna do a certain street. This year we're gonna do Fifth Street, Lake Shady frontage road with seal coating, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to look at that map.
Every year is like 200,000 that we go through and upgrade all of our streets over the next 5-year timeframe.
Hmm.
So much every year. And that's just, we just don't want to get behind in our street maintenance. And that's one way we kind of kick off by doing that. So that was approved. The plan was approved. We put funding towards that to do this 2026 project. So
I think the other thing, talking about the Lions Club, again, I don't know what they have in terms of what their kind of coffers or financial. I mean, the other thing is we talked to them about what are they willing to contribute if they want to take that park, right? We know that we need some paving of trails. Here's some estimates, you know, if we wanted to pave one, maybe we chip in some money for that, but maybe they're responsible for some of the number 3 too. I mean, again, that's where we need a conversation with them too.
I think we should at least get some estimates so we have some numbers.
Yeah, I think that's the first step.
And getting the estimates sooner, like Ron said, before contractors start, you know, those October prices.
So the RFP writing, is that part of the engineer services?
I would think it would be, yes. Stan Tech would ask for, or put the drawings together. These are high level drawings here, but I think that's what be them.
So, excuse me, if we ask for all 3 parks, then or segments, are we paying some for RFP on a section that we know we're not going to get this year? We can't afford all 3. So,
I think from a contractor's side of it, I don't think you can go out and ask for all 3 bids, knowing you might not do one. Because they're gonna come back and say,
Yeah.
well, you're not doing that one, now I both based on doing all 3. Cause if he's gonna come in here and do them equipment wise, they wanna come in and do them all. They're not gonna wanna restage each time, so I think we need to pick the ones we wanna do, say, in my head, I'm saying 2 and 3 with the option on 1. And this option on 1 may not happen at this time, but if bids come in and we can do it, we will do it. But you say, if I'm bidding this, which they did in our industry, is I don't want you to come and say, I'm doing all 3, and by the way, oh, no, we're not gonna do number 1. And I'll bid to set all my equipment in there and just go to work. And that's what, you'll get some pushback that way, so.
That's why, like Marie was saying, we don't have the funds to do 2 and 3.
Right,
So
right.
we have to get 2 others or we wait till next year.
Yep.
And hopefully the prices don't go up too much, but we can probably get a better price by doing all 3 sides too.
Mhm. Just so
And maybe
you're,
the lines will be something to plan for
Right.
27 too. They got fireworks, that's a big expenditure for them.
no,
They have this project of helping pave this, I'm not saying they have to do all of it, but at least that, whatever they could contribute. The difference between what we'll have in CIP next year and but at the same time, if we're not going to do it to next year, we won't go in, well, we won't go out for quotes this year.
right,
Because that's just Cause Joe's rate, engineering services rate, they'll go up next year, just like everything else, so.
Yeah, if we think we're just gonna hold on that 65,000, I wouldn't work on getting bids. We'd just keep it in the savings and ask for another 60 but again, we wouldn't be paving anything until 2027 at the earliest. But I do like your point, Joy, about like showing something, cause I know we've talked a lot about budgets and money kind of just comes in and then it's dispersed. It'd be nice to say we actually did something with it and here it is. Here's something tangible people can see and do. But
So
there's tons to.
if we decided to delay it till 27, I think we could put out a sign, something on Facebook that says we are waiting till 27 so we can pave all the trails at one time.
Yeah.
But just so that is out there that people are like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then what happens if we don't get that funding for 27?
That's,
Gotta wait till 28.
But if you go with just one of them.
Well, I'm
Do
looking at
whatever's left over.
You show them your Orinoco, we're doing the park, number 3, spend the 13,000, you still got 52 left. That sets there, talk to Lions, maybe they could have some, I don't know. Or wait and see if we get more, and if not, we don't, but at least the nice part, we could have this thing paved this year.
That's show people, when we're talking about this, I mean, this project on this side of the river or on this side of the highway, the big ones clear over there. For them to come in and do this little one, I think would behoove us to get that completed, just for the simple fact, it goes back to saying that we're showing the community that, yes, we're doing this. And then, like you said, when a contractor comes, he would rather do the whole thing over here than just one section, so. And then, I would be, if everybody's comfortable with it, or if this is what we truly wanna go with. I'd just soon get River Park or Orinoco Park paved there, but we wanna talk to the Lions, I guess we can do that next month, but I think we should behoove to get it going.
I mean, I don't know what the Lions Club, maybe I don't know, they have 13,000, maybe they'd pay for it, right? And then we'd have 65, we could save it or do one of these, again, I don't know.
Get a bid for that park and see what they would be willing to pay for, pay half, pay a quarter.
Yep, pay it all,
Pay all.
I don't know, yep.
And then where do streets and roads come in? Cause we have that lovely drive in there. Is that considered a city street? Or is that considered a drive inside the park,
Driveway in the park, it's not really
right?
part of our, it's not part of our paving program.
But
Okay.
it looks good right now. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
looking at a picture from September.
They redid that after they went in
That
there.
was a standalone project.
Yeah, they went in there, well, they utilized that to get down and do the whole lake bed. And so they paved that. They paved the whole new circle, didn't they? So that's completed, so.
Does that have like some maintenance on that we're in charge of, or how does that work?
Probably,
Cause like
I think it's 10 years from now,
Yeah,
before they have to do anything to it?
the wear and tear on it, I think that's gonna.
Okay, I mean,
We'd probably do some steel coating before we did anything.
Well, that's what I was just curious about. As a Parks and Trails Committee, are we supposed to be saying, we're looking into doing a 13,000 addition to what's there, and then is there stuff that has to happen there that should be combined, but I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up, cause there's a lot of,
The only thing would do the city park by itself is, because it's a small project for a lot of contractors. It might be more than 13,000 too. That kind of goes. I think that's why Joe, based on his experiences of looking at 1 and 3 or 2 and 3.
okay.
Then we get the bids and find out. That's what I say, it's on,
yeah, I would make a motion,
maybe Joe could
no.
phrase it to them that, basically not gonna probably all 3 go at the same time.
Yeah, but then to Joy's point, then the city's paying for that third one that we're not gonna be able to
Right,
support,
right.
so it could be. It could be anywhere from seven.
Oh, yeah, 'cause we have to
$7,000.
pay Stan
Gotta
Tech to be prepared to
Paying the
get,
engineering.
to accept the bids.
And that's also, they'll do the inspection after it's being paved, and everything, so there's follow-up stuff that they're paid to inspect as well, so.
I mean, when Joe wrote this up, he knew we only had 65,000, right?
Yeah.
Or
No.
not really though.
No, this was with that grant funding from. Was park survey one, was it, or no,
That's right.
instead,
From the age-friendly
Yep.
one.
yeah, so that covered Joe's time. To give us these estimates, so he didn't know we had CIP funds at that time, cause that was during the survey. But I think he knows we have
Yeah.
CIP
Right
earmarked,
back to your.
yeah.
So we had to pay whatever it was just to get this little bit. Probably. Okay.
Yep, they covered $2,000 of Joe's time to give us these drawings and estimates. So,
I'm torn. I don't know what to make a motion on. Anybody have any ideas?
so looking at, it would be nice to do it all, we're just not there. If we feel like we want to do something, my recommendation would we would get estimates for 2 and 3. Have conversations with the Lions Club about chipping in, that may get us closer to 65. And the reason for 2 is because it hooks up to already paved paths, like 1, I feel like it would be kind of strange. To do and then end there, where the other 2 kind of already do that. I think that would show the residents that we're working on it, we can't do it all, we're gonna continue to do it, but we gotta do it in waves. That would be my suggestion for 2 and 3.
And from your experience, I haven't seen 2, I'm sorry, let me start over. They used to play soccer over here. And so people from different communities would come here at that time. But I'm not seeing that anymore. Are you seeing many people parking in these spots?
No,
Or it's really
They
people
park down.
walking from their houses, right? Or where
Yeah.
do they park?
they do park on Sunnyview,
Okay.
lane down there when they used to have soccer down there. I think the nets have been taken down, so they don't do it there anymore. I usually see people park there. I don't see people up by Valley View.
Right, okay, so that would be another thing to say, people traveling here park here, so
Yeah.
There's
There's really no parking. I mean, you're,
yeah, you're just on the side street,
yeah, but.
okay?
But again, I think that's where, right, it connects to the park. You could put benches around there. They hook up to already paved paths towards the back end.
Yeah.
We could ask for 60,000 for CIP next year to pave the 1. As well.
Well, I don't know how the length of them is, but getting that estimate for number 2, we might get a better estimate just in our own minds what number 1 would be. No,
Yeah.
actually,
Mhm.
they're very similar in price.
For
What he
length.
has for an estimate now.
Number 1 goes up the hill more steep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not steep.
Yeah, yes, there's a.
The other ones are flat where you can push a stroller like you said, or young kids on a bike and.
Yeah, this one would make a nice loop, because you can go up, you could go up in the back area and come back down.
Yeah.
This one's kind of. You walk and then you're hitting gravel.
Another trail, I think we maybe talked about is across, the one that goes up to Mountain View, across from Mountain View down to Third Avenue. There's that little city lot that goes through there on the other side across the street. Number 1 goes up to Mountain View. And this jogs over a little bit on the street. And then it goes further east down through the Third Avenue to,
You're saying Valley View. You mean Valley View, right? Not Mountain View?
Yeah, the Valley View one, if you were going to continue it,
right,
you could maybe do more of a trail, is what you're saying, through that one area.
Through Third Avenue?
Like through here. and down up
Goes through
Third,
people on
Memorial.
that side there?
so
Okay.
here's. No.
Yeah, it's Valley View.
Yep, you're right there.
Valley, I'm sorry, what was I, the mountain, yeah, so this trail comes up here, the long one up to here, and jogs over, and then it comes down through this is the city property right here.
So it cuts behind that farmer house there?
All these homes right here, it goes
I thought
behind
that was theirs.
So we mow that property right now, and it gets us down to Third Avenue. It's just a bit of continuation, of safe routes for school, if we do some marking on the streets, it won't be a dedicated bike lane, but it could be a shared bike lane on those streets. It's, it's,
Yeah, that
not
road,
quite the length as these longer ones, but it's something to think about in the future, just to continue the paved paths.
I'm the odd one out. I like path number one. I do like when last summer we were going around and we were just scoping out all the parks, I had the hardest time finding this park.
Mhm.
And where to park to go to the park. I ended up parking in the cul-de-sac on Sunnyview Lane and then walked, like through two people's houses, which, isn't fine. But I was really looking around for anything, and this was paved well enough. And I saw it kind of go out to the gravel, and then from where I was, I had no real visibility of what happened over here or how to get over there. I'm just not familiar with that side of the river. But I think I remember driving on Valley View Drive. And if there was more of a distinguished path, I think I probably would have preferred to park over there. So looking at this, I'm in the one camp. I'm in. I don't know where we go from. I think everyone wants to do two. And then do we talk to Lions Club next week and say, are you willing to contribute enough to get the engineering services quotes done for three as well? And then we can know first, like, we'll have a better picture next month of what quotes to bid for, either two or three, or just two, or just one, or one and
you can
three.
ask, I mean, you're already anticipating what Joe was gonna say if we wanna do all three. He's gonna say that's not gonna happen.
We don't have.
Well, we don't have the
Yeah.
funds.
Yeah, it's,
I mean, just to get the bids or whatever, right? Is it called
But-
bid?
But then we're spending money or something.
Yeah.
Do the engineering services.
mhm. We gotta pay the engineering
Before he
service.
goes out for bids, he needs to have more detailed drawings for the contractor to make bids. And that's what we'd have to pay to get that third bid, but if we have no plan
We don't have.
for a third portion, that's money not well.
And we wouldn't wanna do the engineering services separate, cause it doesn't really tell us anything, cause you don't know the construction, cost, right?
Well, we could, but then we gotta spend excess engineering services money to get that we may not use.
Right.
Or get bids for, I should say.
And I think what Lee's comment to a company that would come in and say like, okay, I'm gonna make 20,000 here, 20,000 and 20,000, I'm willing to bring my equipment out. But if I'm only gonna make, just two of them, I'm gonna have to charge you more.
Sure, that's just.
That's probably a good point. Me,
That's why
And
maybe.
from that premise, you'd wait till next year. to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'd wait to do it all. I mean, the nice thing, the other side of that coin would be if you do a really good job, we're gonna have another one. We'll have another 60. We gotta get the funds, right? I mean, that could be an incentive for business the following year if we
Yeah.
like them, but again, funds aren't secured, so that's the issue, but. I mean, I guess we're in between, do we do something this year or do we wait and save and hope? I know hope's not a strategy, but hope that we can get it in, another 65 in the budget and do it all in 2027, or we do parts of it.
Personally, I think we do number 3. It shows something, it shows we're doing something. It'll show the businesses in town that we mean something. If we need extra money, who knows who'll come forward. But we've started the process. I agree at the point of my concern being in this business that in 2027, you're gonna eclipse that $7,000 cost just to increase the material. So we've already, it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up, but then we don't want Joe doing the drawings for one of them if we're not even gonna do it. So it's a catch-22, but I do think we gotta each show people something. I really do.
Yeah, I agree.
Which one it is, I don't know, but I think we need to show them something. And the feeling I get, like I say, you guys have been around Orinoco far longer than I have, but everybody comes back to Orinoco Park. I hear that a lot, that people really like to get that one spruced up a little bit more, all that stuff, so let's push towards doing that one, so that's how I feel, so, but that's my 1 cent worth.
Right? Yeah.
My one thing about the Orinoco Park in this drawing, it takes it to the bathrooms, right?
Yep, it does.
And are we ready to do the bathrooms? Do we know that the bathroom is going to stay the way it is? Because when we're talking the bathrooms, are we talking the ones that Kevin's talking about?
Yeah, and that's where getting like the Lions Club to do like a long-term planning out there. So we would know maybe the bathrooms are where they are, or maybe we would move them like even into the pavilion, right? I mean, I think of like Pine Islands, they're right in the pavilion there. So, I mean, again, that's where you might have a path to nowhere if we totally revamp that park too.
Can we just leave that part of it off? And then,
Yeah. I think the concern of leaving it off is if the bathrooms are open and in use, right? It's not really accessible.
Yeah.
Were they open last summer? They must have been, huh?
I think Kane said they were open.
But I also remember there being a handicap one here all the time, I think, at the driveway.
yeah,
Maybe.
porta potty.
There's a porta potty there.
Yeah, porta potty.
I thought the people that rented the pavilion got keys to the bathroom.
Versus it being open at a regular
yeah.
basis.
Yeah,
Is
I don't
that-
know. I don't know.
Ring a bell, Jason?
Do you know? Are they open all year?
For events, they open them and then close them afterwards, and we don't know if they're open all year.
Okay, so they open them for use?
Yeah.
So Jason, right now we're struggling to decide what to ask council to do. We have 3 different things, but we don't have enough money.
Got money for us?
Big surprise, right? So do we vote as a committee as to which one of these 2 to have actually bid out? Or just go with the smaller one and save some of that CIP to do the following year?
My recommendation would be, I know we've talked about this, but I would really like a conversation with the Lions Club because I don't know if they have 13,000 to spend, but if they're gonna do the parks, right, they're gonna need some paving and some trails to do that. And what's that long-term plan for that park? And it may change where they want paths to go.
So it might be too soon to put a path there.
I think, again, because they want to adopt this park, I would want to make sure that they're right, that we're coming to that agreement and that partnership, that we're wanting their feedback. And we may have money, but we may want them to contribute. And what does that look like? That would be my only hesitation about just doing 3. I mean, I think you could get bids if you wanted to, but I'd hate to say, we're gonna do it, and then the Lions are like, well, we're not gonna put the bathrooms there, we may move the shelter closer, you know, I mean, just not being included, which, again, I think we have the final say of it as Parks and Trails, but I would just want to have a conversation with them, because they may have money that they would be willing to contribute to that too.
We're not giving up the rights to the park out to be designed, that's the.
No,
difference.
yeah, no, that would be here in city council, yeah.
You just share,
Yeah.
you know, monetary donation that we would give if I would.
Yeah.
To assist in upgrading the facilities or things to the parks. But this brought to, I wanted to talk to you before you came over here. I don't know when you guys get to this, but I talked to Kane a little bit today about this, and you know, we need to make sure that we set a standard of, okay, we're gonna do it, Bill, you know, adopt the park kind of thing, if you will. What is that gonna look like? Is there gonna be a annual, you know, sponsorship in money? Is it gonna be something else where it's, you're gonna be required to do 2 events and 2 cleanups, or, you know, what does that actually look like?
Yeah.
And I think we need to make sure we have that as well, you know, towards the front of this, because maybe in 2 years they decide they don't wanna do it anymore, but we got another group that wants to come in, or another group that wants to adopt another park. We need to kind of set that standard. So,
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that too, and like, what's the renewal kind of process, so that that partnership is reviewed, so it's not just here you go do whatever you want, and it's just living out there, so.
I would almost look at it like a yearly thing. I think of, first thing that comes to mind is like sports sponsorships, right? You set up, you get your sponsorships for your arenas or your stadiums and stuff, and they're usually, you know, on the lower end, they're usually your things, you get your banners up, you get this, you're sponsoring this year. You know, this is known as this area or whatever the things may be. Versus like a 50-60 million dollar donation, or we're gonna put your name and name the building after you type of thing, so. I don't know what their funds are at.
Yeah, I don't know what
It's up
what
to
they have either.
them to keep it reasonable, because most of these are gonna be nonprofit groups that are looking to adopt the park, so, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what they have in their accounts that they're willing to donate. I know that Steve shared that they actually had a lot of interest with the flag program. And they're hoping that will continue. So again, I think that's, you know, a nice chunk of money, but I don't know what that even looks like.
Well, I guess after all the discussion tonight, I don't see us making a decision on this trail tonight,
Yeah.
the pavement. Just my thought. So do we wanna have Steve come and maybe really look at this on our own and kind of have an idea of what we wanna do and come back in April and
March.
or March, I'm sorry, March, and make the motion to do what we wanna do. Cause right now it doesn't, I mean, there's been a lot of good discussion, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think we're ready to. And unless somebody else wants to make a motion.
I agree with Marie. I think maybe have Steve bring his financial paper, say, here, this is what we
Yeah.
got. And then that'll be a determining factor, right?
Next week, we can vote on which trail to pave or whether or not to push it. But next week, we'll be able to most likely have a motion and vote on a motion.
'Cause what did our park survey say? I mean, obviously the park survey is gonna say pave as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a real important feature, was the paving.
Mhm.
I really think that was. I think just go back to that building, the bathroom in there. If you're not gonna really change the footprint of that building, that's not what you're looking for, right? We want to keep it the historical footprint that's there. It would be the interior that would be changed. So probably not a real problem to pave it to that building. It would just be, if you're gonna hook up the water, the sewer, where does that come in? Will that interfere with where we pave it? That would be my question, so.
Those were hooked up there.
No,
Did those get hooked up?
what's that?
The water and sewer, that stuff, did that get hooked up out of the park?
Yeah, that all comes, so, well, the water's on the west side and the sewer's on the east side of it right now. Is where it
Like
comes.
it's already connected though, correct?
The grinder station is there. The question, are we hooked up to the bathrooms directly to the guy? I'm gonna have to ask about and get back onto you on that. I thought it was, but I'm not sure. The grinder station's there, everything to connect it to the system.
I was out there last fall, so I'm drawing a blank on it right now.
I know the grinder station's on the east side of that building. I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
Yes, it's on the east side, yes. See a green cover.
Mhm.
So that would be a question I want answered before we
Sure.
make a decision whether to pave it right to that building or not. But yeah.
At this time, I believe there's one of us that will not be here in March. Is that accurate? Oh, when are you?
I wasn't gonna be here today. But we-
Oh, things changed. Yay for me. Otherwise, I was gonna be secretary. That's why. I knew he was gonna be missing a meeting soon, but he's here today. So, and you'll be here in March. That's exciting. I love it. Okay, so are we all gonna be in attendance in March, as far as you know?
As far as we're.
Barring any last minute
Right?
shenanigans.
No exciting vacations planned for the first week of March? Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to adjourn at this time.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Those same sign. Okay, motion carries. So thank you, everyone, for all of your efforts.
Yeah, a lot of good discussion.
Oh my goodness, yeah, yeah, okay.
At the benches, we decided on the benches.
Done.
Yeah, but
Getting things done in bureaucracy.
oh, yeah. So are we gonna be like saying, you said it's just, Jeff, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna be saying at council, what? Oh yeah, can you press the button?
Press the button.
Yeah, thank you.
Is it this one, this
Yep.
button?
Yep.
End meeting.